Well, y'all, you gotta see my cup. You seen this cup before? Chuck, you ever seen this cup? Ain't it great? Y'all wanna know what I'm drinking this morning? What's up, Craig? Craig with the yoga? Hey, Cleora. And Vicky. Keisha girl. Keisha girl. Oh, well, hello, Christy. Come through, Christy. Good morning, y'all. Let me get to this, y'all, because I was going to talk about mudras today. Hey, Kim. So, y'all, I was going to talk about mudras today, but I have to shift, y'all. Let me tell y'all why I got to shift. Let me turn this down a little bit. First of all, let's make some acknowledgments. Let's acknowledge this cup, right? You see it? And then let's acknowledge what I'm drinking today. So usually when I make, y'all, I don't like orange juice. I don't like stuff with a lot of sugar because I know that sugar in our body, bacteria feeds off of sugar. So every time we take in like processed sugars, y'all, we're basically feeding bacteria in our body and just contributing to illness and dis-ease. So usually if I'm gonna make me some orange juice, y'all look what I did. I just put some water in there and then I slice some oranges and then I put them in my water and that's my orange juice. Tastes nice and orangey. So that's one thing. That's one acknowledgement. Y'all already acknowledged my flowers the other day. And then look what we got to acknowledge. This here shirt. What it say, y'all? What it say? Keep your heart, 3 stacks. Keep your heart. Play your part. Pay your part. Y'all remember that? All right. Anyway, let me tell y'all what I got to talk about today. I was going to talk about mudras, but I can't talk about mudras. Let me tell you why I can't talk about mudras, because it's something heavier and something that's sitting more present for me on my heart today. So, y'all know I always talk about my earth babies. So I have my birth babies and then I have my earth babies. My earth babies are those young people, those young, just sweet babies. I don't care if they black, brown, blue, purple, orange. I don't care where they come from, but I have some babies that I end up somehow mothering, right? So I have them. And then they first start off as my babies. And a lot of times when they grow up, they turn into my sis or they turn into my bruh. So basically, one of my earth babies, she's now my sis. She texts me this morning. As soon as I open my eyes, she texts me and she says, last night, our neighbor, they live in an apartment complex. She said, our neighbor killed himself and he did it right in front of my door. And he shot himself with a gun. And after he tried to kill his girl and their child, and it was right in front of our doorstep, on the steps, y'all. I know this heavy this morning, but let me move through this, y'all. Y'all stay with me so we can talk about why we need to talk about this, right? So she said that he was upset because I guess he assumed that his girl was cheating. However, she's like, I need some help right now because I'm feeling traumatized. Me and my husband are traumatized from this experience because the body was laying out there for hours. The police were there. There was chaos everywhere. Y'all with me? Okay. So I am bringing this to you, first of all, because I talked about mirror neurons. And I talked about how when we see something with our eyes, we actually have different parts of our brain that fire as if it's happening to us or as if it's us, right? So she's like, I need some help right now. I'm traumatized. And remember what I told y'all in the past, that trauma comes into our bodies and through our senses, right? So a lot of times trauma will come in through visuals or through sounds, or even trauma can come in through our organ that is the skin or through smells. Y'all with me? So my baby girl, my baby sis is saying, I feel traumatized. And usually trauma also is this experience. It happens when we lose our voice, choice, or power. So basically there's this loss of voice and choice when you have to see something like that. Like she didn't have an option to not walk out her door and see life taken, right? Y'all get what I'm saying? So saying all this to say is that it's very real for us to be intentional about keeping yourself. Y'all remember I said that yesterday? I have the words right here. Keep yourself. Like you need to keep yourself so you don't lose yourself or kill yourself. And why do I say that? Because I have worked with so many young people, so many adults who get to that point where life is just so tough, y'all, that it's no wonder that they don't kill themselves, because there's all these external things happening. And because they are just at a point where it feels overwhelming. It feels like they no longer can keep themselves, that they just want to take themselves, right? Y'all get what I'm saying? So every day I've been talking to you all about different techniques, different strategies, different ways to keep yourself. So I'm inviting you to constantly chase you. I'm inviting you to constantly sit with you. I'm inviting you to just constantly don't forget your warrior spirit, right? So it is a warrior spirit when you're able to sit down with you, sit in stillness and just breathe through some of the things that are happening, not just in your mind, but in your body. And y'all know the mind and how powerful it is. And remember when I told you about psychological stress and how powerful the mind is and how the mind will do 50, 11 things and it moves much faster than the body does. The mind will go, right? And then the body will kind of react or respond, but the body's a little slower to take things on than the mind is. The mind will just race. And especially in our culture right now, we don't have enough practice of slowing the mind down and sitting with ourselves and keeping yourself. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Do you hear me? You get what I'm saying? So in this process of keeping yourself, you not only illuminate the goodness that's within you, the creator that's within you, but you illuminate your wellness. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So let's just use this example that I started with. Let's use that example as a way to look at how all of us have it within us to illuminate our wellness and to keep ourselves. So I don't know about you all, but most of us have been in situations where our hearts basically are taken, meaning we give our heart to someone and we don't even have any area of it that we keep to ourselves, right? It's almost like this relationship is just basically like your whole world. Like there's nothing else in your life but this relationship. And y'all, in reality, it's okay to have love like that. But most importantly, we have to keep ourselves, right? Like we can't just give our whole self to others. We have to keep ourselves and know ourselves. Y'all get what I'm saying? So when we get to that point in a relationship, when it gets bad, or maybe the love is lost or the love has shifted, when you don't have yourself, you could potentially think that this is your whole you, your whole world, and your identity, your hope, everything is connected to this relationship. Because you need to first keep yourself. So meditation, sitting with you, chasing you, all of that is a process of falling in love with you, right? We have to fall in love with ourselves first, right? And I think it's right on to love others. Y'all know I'm all about the good loving. I love to love on others. However, I got to love me first. I got to keep myself. I have to. If I didn't do it, I would go mad. Y'all know that. We all would go mad. Y'all get what I'm saying? Let me check the time. Oh, it's 10:09. So I think what I was going to say and have us do for our breath work today, I want us to close our eyes and we're going to call on whatever those parts of us need to be called upon to remind us to keep ourselves. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So this process of sitting with you and calling on, it's like resourcing yourself. I don't know about y'all, but here, let me say this for an example. I recognize that a lot of people use religion and spirituality as a way to basically shift when things are overwhelming. So this is what I used to think. Like I grew up in church, right, y'all? I grew up in church. So growing up in church, I always questioned things. I always wondered things. I always had explorations and critical thought and critical reflection going on. And so it came to a point in my adult life that I figured it out in this way. I conceptualize things in this way. So sometimes when we're in a challenge, when we're in the midst of a challenge or some darkness or just difficult times, when it feels like it's just too much or too much for us to handle or overwhelming, it is a gift for us to shift our focus or shift our attention off of just our presenting problem and shift our attention to this process of worshiping or going to God. Do you all get what I'm saying? So a lot of people will shift, like if your time is so hard, you shift your focus and your attention. And y'all know what I mean about just having all your focus and attention on one thing. Whatever you focus on gets bigger. So if it's a challenging time in your life right now, if you keep your attention on that, it'll just get bigger and bigger. You get what I'm saying? So it's almost like it'll take up your whole screen. So we got our computer screen right here, right, y'all? So instead of letting this issue or this situation take up your whole screen, you are welcome to minimize it or just bring it down here or make that box a little smaller so that you can still have the rest of your life going on. Y'all get what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when we have something, some suffering or some pressing event before us, a lot of times we don't know how to not let it take up our whole screen, right? So if you have a difficult situation in your relationship right now, a lot of people will let it take their whole screen up. And it's basically like their whole world is on their whole world screen. And what I'm encouraging you all to do, and what I think a lot of people do with spirituality and with religion, is they allow that pressing event to move down here. And so they focus their attention on God. They kind of create this, not this horizontal, but this vertical relationship. And then all the horizontal things will be impacted by just keeping this focus like this. Y'all get what I'm saying? So in this practice of keeping yourself, that's basically my invitation to you, to focus on like what is bigger and greater about you. Keep yourself in the sense of what is connecting you to your higher power or to your enlightened self, or just into enlightenment in general, right? Your illuminated self, right? Your well self, your creator. Who are you? And looking inside and being your maker, right? Y'all get what I'm saying? You said, what about the screens that's inconsistent? What do you mean, Nick, about the screens that are inconsistent? When I say like there's pressing events in front of you and don't let it take up your whole screen. You can minimize it. It's just like you have windows, right? You click it and then you bring it down here, right? So we can minimize it or we can make it a little smaller, but it doesn't have to take up our whole screen. Just because you had a difficult conversation with a loved one, or you had an argument or something uncomfortable at work, it doesn't have to take up your whole screen to where you basically can't function. And a lot of times, because we have not sat with ourselves, we haven't sat in stillness with ourselves, we don't know how to minimize things and let them come down here and not take up our whole screen, right? Right? Y'all get what I'm saying? So let's just breathe through that, y'all. I know I said a whole lot today. It was a whole lot. That was some heavy stuff on my heart, Chuck. That's very heavy for me to think about a young man taking his life or anybody losing their life. But in actuality, I never would judge anybody for taking their life or getting to that point where they just want to be done. Because it's a whole lot of ish that goes on, right? 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 All right, y'all. Let's find a comfortable position. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then just start to notice your breath. And y'all remember what I said about placing your hands on your heart? How that creates some softening, but it also invites some awakening, right? This awakening. And I want you all to remember to awaken your warrior spirit every day, right? So everybody place your hands on your heart and then just begin to notice your breath. You're welcome to close your eyes. And y'all know what? Even if you don't have it in you to be still for you today, let's be still for that family that I referenced, right? So this baby boy took his life, and another mama is going without her baby. Another baby will go without a daddy. We just got to find more ways to help people be able to keep themselves, to sit with themselves, to chase you. Everybody keep breathing. And y'all, right now, with this intention, we can send out peace and loving kindness and compassion to that family right now. And y'all, while we're here, let's just go ahead and be intentional about sending out some loving kindness, some peace, some compassion, some healing to maybe somebody in your life. Maybe it's somebody in your life right now that you know is going through a tough time and the time is dark for them and it just seems like they can't see the light. Let's just send something. Let's send them kindness. Let's send them wellness. Send them peace. Be well. All right, y'all. Go ahead and gently open your eyes. Y'all with me? So we send all love and compassion and kindness, not just to others, but to ourselves, right, y'all? And I'm just going to keep telling you, keep yourself. Chase you. Find ways that you can stay attuned with you, be in touch with you, be with you, right? All this chaos around us, right? So carry your stillness with you so that the chaos doesn't overshadow it, right? Keep yourself. Y'all with me? All right. Y'all have a good Friday. It's going to be a good Friday for me.